30 potatoes in 30 grow bags. Was it worth it? Let's find out. This year, I decided to try something different. I had already planted out my spring garden. Pretty much all of my garden space was taken up, but I had forgotten about my potatoes. So I really didn't have a choice. So I decided to try things out in strictly grow bags this year. But I want to see just how well these potatoes performed in grow bags with very little care or maintenance. I planted the bulk of my potatoes on May 6th in each of these 7-gallon grow bags. So I just took the grow bags out, I got 30 of them, and filled them up with some Green Grow potting soil. And I planted one potato in every single grow bag. I didn't do anything fancy. I just stuck the potato in the soil, covered it with a layer of mulch, and let nature do the rest. Really, no watering, no fertilizing, no nothing. I just put them around my yard where I had space conveniently and just let them do their thing. And if you've never grown in grow bags before, that's one of the conveniences of it. Now I could just move these bags around really easily. I have a pot that I can break down at the end of the year and take out in the beginning of spring to get things growing. And I can even dump all the soil out and mix in some fertilizer to get them ready for the next round of crops. So even though I have a large garden, utilizing grow bags to grow some extra veggies is like the perfect application. It's been about 70 days for these potatoes, which is kind of early, but as you can see, they're already dying back, which means that they're ready to harvest. I did kind of plant these late for my growing season, and I kind of expected them to grow anywhere from 70 to 120 days. Totally depends on the variety. But inside of these grow bags, I have 3 different varieties: Norland Red, Adirondack Blue, and Yukon Gold. So we're going to get a nice variety of different colors and textures. So let's dump this first bag out and see what we've got. Remember, I only planted one potato in every single one of these grow bags. I'm hoping I get anywhere from 5 to 10 potatoes for every single bag. So if I planted 30, we should get about 300 in return. So let's find out. Well, we got a salamander. Check him out running around in here. Well, let's get him out. He's not freaking out. All right, got him. A cute little dude. All right, let's see what we've got. And I'm just gonna use this grow bag to put them all in. 1, 2, little ones, 3, 4. Oh, got a big one right here. Oh, it's too soft though. It's all mushy. This means I'm actually harvesting these a little bit too late when that happens. That's part of it, you know? That's okay. This one's really squishy, but that's all right. We'll get rid of that one. So we got 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Look at that. Oh, 10, 11. That large one may have actually been the seed potato that I planted inside of this grow bag. So, not bad for potato plant number 1. And they look pretty uniform in size as well. That's what we're looking for right there. Let's do another one. I've got a couple bags right behind me, so we'll grab these next. I literally just put these on my property wherever they fit. And using grow bags is actually a really great way to give your garden beds a break as well. If you've seen your garden beds are underperforming or they have a lot of disease and pest issues, instead of planting them year after year, you can actually put a layer of cardboard on top so it'll smother the weeds out that are growing in your garden bed. And then you can put the grow bags on top just to give your garden bed a rest. So, I mean, I love grow bags. They're honestly really great, especially if you're a beginner gardener. Very easy to transport. And you can do things like this. And look how easy it is to just dump it out and see what we've got in here. Oh, look at these. These are beautiful. These beautiful blues, these Adirondack blues. Look at that. Gorgeous color. Oh, I feel them in here. Wow, just the colors. I mean, these aren't huge, but for doing nothing, I can't really complain at all. I really can't. So what did I say that my estimated yield was, like 5 to 10 or 7 to 10 per grow bag? This was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 in that one. And now I have all this amazing soil that I could just add a little bit of fertilizer into to re-amend it, and then we're ready to go for the next round of plants. I could just literally take that, add some fertilizer, put it back in my grow bags, and we're good to go. Oh no. Literally every single one of these potatoes in here is squishy. Ugh. They're probably ready to go, and we didn't have rain for a couple weeks. And then we had some pretty heavy rains over the last few days, and it probably just got to these potatoes. Yeah, those are all bad. So we completely lost the crop on this grow bag right here. It happens. So that kind of stinks too. This is going to happen, especially if you're growing different varieties. It would have been best. So learn from my mistake right now. It would have been best for me to label every single one of these grow bags, so I knew which specific variety of potatoes were in here. So that way, if I see one of them starting to mature, I can just harvest all of those. So hopefully I don't lose the whole crop of those Norland Reds, because that would be really disappointing. That'd be really, really disappointing. But I'm hopeful that there's going to be some out here. Let's keep going. Yes, the next bag I pulled, here it is. Not too bad. And again, beautiful color. I mean, for us, these are perfect. They're not baking potatoes. They're not like russet potatoes, but these are perfect for quartering, putting in the oven, baking them up, or even making some potato salad. Oh, that sounds great. Now I might make this after. But look at that. So easy. We put some soil in some grow bags, planted a potato like this, and this is what we got out of it. For very little effort, I'll take that return on investment. Let's try something a little different. Nice. Wow. Look at that one. This is the deepest blue I've ever seen, probably because it's all concentrated into that tiny little potato. Oh, there's some nice ones. There's the seed potato right there. You can see how much darker it is than the other ones, and all of the plants that are growing out of it, all the greens that are growing out of it. So there's our seed potato. And then you can see how these potatoes are just running off that main plant and starting to grow. So yeah, if we left this go for another, 20 days, these potatoes would obviously be a lot bigger. But then we'd also be risking getting those rotten potatoes like we saw in that other grow bag. So it really is a balance. And this is why there are potato farmers, right? We're doing this in our backyard. We're doing this for fun. We're doing this to get some fresh food. It's not going to be perfect, but keep fine-tuning it year after year after year. And if you really focus on it, you can definitely learn how to grow something special. Well, there's one leading tower of grow bags. Let's go get the rest of them. So as I'm finishing these up, let's talk about how I think this is going. Because I've grown potatoes a ton of different ways. I've grown them in grow bags. I've grown them in burlap coffee bags. I've grown them in my raised beds. I've grown them in my greenhouse. So I've got a lot of experience growing potatoes. And I'll say this is probably the most enjoyable experience I've had so far, because I know how little effort that I actually put into growing these potatoes. And, sometimes that's just what makes the harvest enjoyable. I'm still getting a ton out of it for very little effort. One thing that I think made this harvest so successful is the type of soil that I'm using. Potatoes don't really like to grow in highly fertile soil. I've grown them in complete compost before, and the harvests were just miserable. They actually want a soil that's a little bit drier, something that can drain well. but something that can also hold some moisture, because the plants still need some water in order to grow. And this potting mix honestly works out perfectly, and it's very similar to what I use in my raised beds. It's a mixture of compost, peat moss, coconut coir, and perlite. And sometimes I'll add a little bit of vermiculite, especially if I'm growing in grow bags, because that helps to retain a little bit more moisture. And I think this nice, light, fluffy mix is what's actually allowing the potatoes to be shaped very nicely, very uniform. They're not growing in these weird shapes that you would typically see from growing in denser soils and soils that also get inconsistent moisture, because they kind of just like stretch into form in order to get the moisture and the nutrients that they need. So if there is one thing that I would recommend if you want to grow potatoes, is use a good mix. And if you want to try using some fertilizer to maybe get a little bit bigger harvests, I would go for something that's pretty balanced in nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Maybe like a 5-5-5 or like a 2-2-2, maybe 2 applications of that. But do not over fertilize your potatoes. They just don't need it. They just don't need it. And a great thing about these is if you have a new area that you want to start gardening in, but the soil's not great, you could even plant some potatoes there and allow them to grow and kind of like aerate that soil and push it all out to get it ready for your next round of plants, and maybe later in the season or even the following year. Potatoes really are just so versatile, and they can be grown in so many different parts of the world. And you can even grow tons of different varieties and get a harvest that's just super fun. So if you've never grown potatoes before, I highly recommend trying. And this grow bag method, to me, it works great. The last grow bag, it was actually 27, but 30, close enough. I forgot that I used 3 of the grow bags to grow some sweet potatoes. So let's see how those go next. But the last one, nice. Some beautiful Norland Reds. So we didn't lose all of them. There were a couple bags that at least half of them were pretty squishy, but we still got a ton of them out of this overall harvest. And just beautiful shapes. These are all perfect. Really, really happy with how this harvest went this year. 27 grow bags, 27 potatoes. This is how we did. Not too bad. Pretty much one whole 7-gallon grow bag full of beautiful potatoes. It's a great day. Nothing like coming out to the garden and harvesting some fresh food that we can take in and feed the family for literally months. But I want to make this fun. I want you to go down in the comments and guess how many potatoes we harvested from our grow bags. And the first person that gets it right, I will reach out to you and send you a free Earth Nails and Tails t-shirt for, having some fun, enjoying it. So we're out here trying to learn and help everyone become better gardeners and backyard homesteaders. And it sounds like I finished this harvest just in time, because we've got a storm on the way. But if you like this video, make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel for even more gardening and backyard homesteading content, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.